it's really true how nothing matters. No mad, mad world and no mad hatters. No one's bitching cause there ain't no batters in Coconut Grove.
Hi, I'm Glenn Terry, and this is my home, Coconut Grove. Let me show it to you. We'll go on a tour. Coconut Grove stretches 7 miles on Biscayne Bay, starting down there to the south at the Coral Gables Waterway, where you see those pink condominiums. Then it goes all the way up north to Wainwright Park over there. And next to it is the entrance to the Rickenbacker Causeway, and at the very north end of Coconut Grove is Stallonegate. This is the fence and the gate that Sly Stallone put up to keep the rest of us out of his part of Coconut Grove. Back there, Millionaire's Row. The city gave Stallone and his neighbors permission to fence off this whole neighborhood. It's got a bike path, a 22-acre park to keep us out. Hundreds of us went to City Hall and rallied, and Stallonegate was open again. Just south of Vizcaya on the bay is a Catholic church. It's a very important shrine to the Cuban-American people that came here to escape the Castro regime. To me, it looks a lot more like an Apollo space capsule than a church. And next to the church is Mercy Hospital. My old buddy, Dr. Fred, used to work there, and he'd say, if you gotta die somewhere, you can't beat the view. This is the Bay Heights portion of Coconut Grove, up in the northern corner. The houses here are well kept, it's clean, pretty boring too, a lot like Coral Gables. Joe Carollo lives there. Remember Mayor Joe Carollo, who was voted out of office after he hit his wife in the head with a tea box? Ow! Joe! We're going south on South Bayshore Drive. Up there on the hill is a famous rock house. Famous because Stanley Cohen was murdered there about 10 years ago. His wife Joyce has been in prison ever since. I love this place. It can be like living in a jungle. I mean, people don't have yards. They have bushes and trees, plants and flowers. A lot of times you can look overhead and see parrots flying in the streets. They kind of wind around and they have these crazy names. I used to live on the corner here, Coacuchi and Chucananta. The police put these up all over Coconut Grove because most of the people that live in Coconut Grove don't have speedometers that work. So here we are in Kennedy Park. I guess our city government figures that dogs are more important than kids. So they put this dog pen right next to the bay. If your pooch likes a bay view, this is the place to come.
There you go, you got it.
We're entering the north end of downtown Coconut Grove. This place has become a developer's dream. Right there on Bayshore Drive, there used to be beautiful old houses. Right over here was the Naval Reserve Center. And when they tore that baby down 10 years ago, we had arguments about whether it should become an arts and crafts center or a place for homeless people. And we argued about that for years. And then the city decided, to heck with that. We'll sell it to the developers and make a lot of money. This guy, Ugo Colombo, built it, and he's planning to build this huge fat monstrosity that's going to be much bigger than anything in the Grove. Much bigger than that big ugly building. For years there was a sign here at the corner of this parking lot saying this land was given to the people of Miami by the federal government for recreational purposes. But somehow it became the parking lot for Monty's restaurant. This is Miami City Hall, where our top city officials have their offices. A couple years ago, when it seemed like the city was turning into a banana republic, people would drive by here at night, pelt it with rotten bananas. It's right here on the bay, beautiful spot. Dinner Key Marina is here too, and there are about 600 boats. So this is my boat. I own it with several partners, and it's one of the oldest ones at 44 in Debronyi Marina. This is the latest addition to the City Hall parking lot, the Manny-mobile. Our mayor, Manny Diaz, says that he's going to drive it around the neighborhoods of Miami and do whatever it is that mayors do. 50 yards behind the Manny-mobile is the Debronyi Convention Center. In the late 60s, Jim Morrison's band, The Doors, came here and gave a wild concert. And towards the end of it, he pulled something out of his pants and got arrested. He gave Coconut Grove national attention. Even with all the development, there's still plenty of beautiful places in Coconut Grove. One of my favorites is Sailboat Bay. Looking off to the east of Bayshore Drive, you just look out and you see the water, the boats, and island. It's always a beautiful sight. Peacock Park. We're trying to revitalize 8 acres on the bay. It could be a great place if the city doesn't screw it up. We're in downtown Coconut Grove, where we put on the King Mango Strut Parade every year. Last December's event had all kinds of crazy stuff, including Michael Jackson dangling his baby off a balcony, two men walking abreast. Anybody can be in our parade, as long as they're funny. There's all kinds of funny characters in the Grove. One was called Sunhawk. He lived in a banyan tree like this. Sunhawk was a wood carver. He'd find planks on the shoreline and carve in these beautiful natural scenes of porpoise or pelicans. They were great. He'd sell them at bars for 25 bucks. In the 80s, he got down on himself and decided to die. Fortunately, he screwed up his own suicide. The bullet only went in about an inch deep. 3 weeks later, he was hoisting beers again at the Taurus, except a little more slowly. It was hard to miss the round scar between his eyes. He died of more natural causes a few years later, and his treehouse and his tree have been replaced by this. Of all the walls in Coconut Grove, this one across from the Playhouse is my favorite. I came by here on my bicycle and I saw a sign that said stonemasons wanted. So I stopped and talked with the people, and they were getting people to build 50-foot sections of this wall. So I said, this looks like a lot more fun than practicing law. So I signed on. I built this 50-foot section. It's been here for 25 years. I'm very proud of it. Part of this wall is this little secret cave. And inside is a little cemetery. And the epitaph on the gravestone says, "Beware all ye who may pass by. As ye are now, so once was I. As I am now, so ye shall be. Prepare for death and follow me." This place has been here so long, my father came here to wait while I was being born. So this is Butch Moore, and he was the bartender here for years and years and years. Unfortunately, he died last year. He marched in his last strut a year and a half ago. And this is a historic spot. The owner, Dave Hill, is pretty cheap. And on this spot, $724.91, Dave Hill bought a round of drinks. This is a wall memorial for the Taurus's very finest drinkers who've gone to that great bar in the sky, like Joe Avalos, Vanna Whitmer, Nassau, Wayne Bream, who was a part of the King Mango Strut for many, many years. And there's even one for a dog. The Barnacle State Park is one of the Grove's best kept secrets. Even though it's 13 acres in downtown Grove on the Bay, not that many people know about it. You come down this driveway and it's like going back 100 years in time. The oldest house in Dade County is still on its original foundation. Commodore Ralph Monroe built it about 105 years ago, and he and his family lived here for about 90 years. The family sold it to the state. It's been turned into a wonderful state park. Every full moon, we have wonderful concerts right here on the lawn. We're on Matilda Avenue. I used to live here when there was a house here. But the zoning changed and developers tore down all the little houses and built these townhouses. People scrunched together, knocked down the trees. We lost half of the canopy in the central grove because of all the high density zoning. It pisses me off. Have you ever had the feeling that you were being followed? Joe! The West Grove and the South Grove are separated by walls and fences, much of it topped by razor wire. West Grove, settled by black Bahamians in the late 1870s, it still retains a lot of the look and charm that it had back when they started building it. Check out some of these houses. We used to have these in other parts of the Grove, but they've been replaced by condos and McMansions, but they still have it in the West Grove. And I hope they keep it because developers are trying real hard to redevelop the West Grove. See this house right here? Just sold for $150,000. The developers are moving in. We're at the corner of Grant and Douglas. 5 years ago, an unusual man named Howard Johnson set up his own little golf course here. He put soup cans into the ground and flags with numbers on them, and he'd be out here playing golf all day. On Douglas Road on any Saturday, you can stop and enjoy the Professor of Barbecue and all the great things that he cooks. I painted this sign for him about 20 years ago, and every 5 years I stop to touch it up a little bit. Hi, Mr. Johnson.
Hi, how you doing?
So how long you been cooking barbecue?
Been on this corner about 22 years. Chicken and beef sausage.
This is Boston butt.
Boston butt.
Boston butt. Good looking butt. This is Irvington Avenue, the street I live on. Borrowing a cup of sugar is no problem. Let me show you what I mean.
Lou! Hey, Glenn, what's up, man? Whoa!
Hey, can I borrow a cup of sugar?
Sure thing. Hold on, okay?
Whoa, Lou.
Hey, man, I got tons of this stuff. I'm Cuban. Let's go
It's
for
a
it.
safe, secure neighborhood, like in the old days. I can take off my watch, for instance, hang it right there on the utility pole, know it's going to be there the next day. Come on, let me show you where I live. We call this place Camp Terry because it's small and kind of rough it when you live here. At Camp Terry, you can pull something off the stove or something out of the fridge. You never get out of your seat. This house is so small, you can sit on the toilet and still have a conversation with somebody sitting here in the living room. I'm an artist. I teach art. I make art. And I'm making a treehouse with my sons. There's nothing like the sound of hammering on a Sunday afternoon. That's when building inspectors take the day off. These are my sons, Ian and Dylan. I was describing my dog Lola to my cousin Kitty. She's from Kentucky. About how she likes to live in dirt, knock over the garbage can, and kill the postman every day. And she said, "Swillian, sounds like you got yourself a white trash dog."
Hey Glenn, what's with that Christmas tree?
Oh, we burn them this time of year. I'll show you. Loquat Avenue, and we're stopping at the house of Bob and Maggie Ferrara. And they've done wonderful things here with the houses that they bought. Bob, looking good.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, we're doing our group of art colony houses that we're building up a cachet of artists who are living here and working here.
looks great. This is, we're proud of this. We need more of it in Coconut Grove.
Oh, thank you very much.
Beats the hell out of the condos. This is Ye Littlewood, a very exclusive subdivision off Douglas Road. You can only go in if you know the secret combination. Come here, I'll show it to you. We're going to meet Baron Sepy Debronyi now, the last of the Coconut Grove playboys. I'm going to introduce you to Sepy. Sepy, could you introduce yourself?
I lived in Cuba. I was a Cuban lover, Latin lover. And in Miami, they call me a fucking Cuban. Anyway, here we are. Come in.
Come on, let's go. Sepy, when people talk about your house, they say this is the house where Deep Throat was filmed.
Yes.
Will you hear that?
And about 40 other ones. Frank Sinatra had 4 movies.
Really?
Tony Roma, 3 of them, and The Lady in Cement, 1.
Wow.
And Dustin Hoffman did a Lenny Bruce story.
So this is what you call the Sepy Museum?
Well, I call it. There's so much material here, double like a little museum would have. All the pieces I have at 30 years, 20 years, very old pieces. And from Far East, Tibet and India, Nepal, Bali, Indonesia. These are my babies. I love them. Hemingway,
That's you with Hemingway?
and here me,
Right.
Mrs. Hemingway.
And this is your last girlfriend?
Yeah,
How long ago was that?
4 weeks ago.
Why'd you break up? She seems like a...
No, she's traveling. She's an actress.
Uh-huh.
That's all we got.
So Sepy, this is your Viking bed?
That's the Viking bed. I carved all these details.
And many women come across in this baby?
I'm the captain, yes. This is what they call a mandarin bed or an opium bed. And it's carved in Bali about 150 years ago.
We're going to check out the wine cellar now. These corks represent 35 years of drinking. It's amazing. And you have wine too, besides corks, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And this key is 300 years old?
17th century.
Uh-huh.
And the lock too.
Wow. Well, let's open it up and see what's inside.
Oh.
Where are you from originally?
Me?
Yeah.
Hungarian.
And you're a baron?
Baron since 1540s. The family.
Uh-huh. And this is what you open the wine bottles with?
Yeah. These are happy underwears. We had a good time, and as you see here, and then it's very good bottle stop, so it doesn't hit the back of the thing. I don't even know what is it. Oh, look at it. That's a bra.
Before we leave Sepy's, let's take another look at these baskets. If you look closely in Sepy's cork collection, you can see that he really does use the Gherkinov knife to cut off the whole top of the bottle. There are all kinds of walls in Coconut Grove. This one in front of Gene Masson's house was put together with such precision with the coral rocks. It's very, very hard to see where one stone stops and another one begins. This is beautiful, beautiful work. Much of the Masson house is built of coral rock as well. This wall is at the end of St. Gaudens Road. A sheik lives behind it. And kids come down here on a regular basis to cover it with spray paint. All kinds of people live in Coconut Grove. I was told that the people that live in this beautiful house are on food stamps. Why don't we check it out? Hi. How can you afford to live in a nice house like this and still be on food stamps? How rude. Of course he's on food stamps. A lot of important things happen in Coconut Grove. like this gathering today at the Jude residence in the south end of Coconut Grove. People here are recognizing the important contributions of women to South Florida's history. We're not in Camp Terry anymore.
Our last stop is at the Bigfoot Memorial.
How'd my watch get here? Weird. So this is the south end of Coconut Grove and the end of our little tour. It was great having you guys along. Joe?
It's really true how nothing matters. No mad, mad world and no mad hatters. No one's bitching cause there ain't no batters in Coconut Grove.